Hi, a very good morning to everyone and warm welcome to all our panel members today. Welcome to the Prop Index webinar. We have been doing this report that Magicbricks publishes on a quarterly basis, talking about the key real estate markets across India. Today we have come together to discuss the Bangalore real estate market. The way we are going to structure this session today is we are going to play a small video which will talk about some of the key insights that were identified in this version of the report. And after that, we are going to have a roundtable discussion and a Q&A session on how the market is looking like and what can investors and home buyers and the supply side developers expect from the real estate market going forward.
Welcome to the OND24 Prop Index webinar. We have looked at 13 major cities across pan-India and analyzed the demand and supply trends, rate movements, market trends, key projects, developers, and locality-wise demand. We would be now diving into Bangalore and comparing it with the rest of India trends. When we look at the pan-India BHK-wise demand share, we look at a fluctuating demand across the quarters from 2020 to 24. Currently, 3 BHKs hold a demand of 51% in the Indian market. If you look at the demand for houses with more than 3 bedrooms, it is actually about 60% of India's demand, which is also resonated by Bangalore, and only 40% people in Bangalore and 42% people in India prefer homes with less than 3 bedrooms. As for the demand trend of Bangalore, when we look at it, it mostly follows the demand trends of India, except for the quarter 2 of 2024. This quarter, Bangalore has faced a major decline of 12.6% in its demand. However, in a striking contrast, Bangalore has observed a 17.6% growth in its supply this quarter. As for the price movement in Bangalore, it has remained positive for the past 8 quarters from quarter 1 of 2023 to quarter 4 of 2024, and this quarter has been the highest recorded quarterly rate movement where Bangalore has recorded a growth of 8.6% in its prices.
As you saw, and we have been talking about this for the last few quarters now. Premium market seems to be the talk of the whole country, and most of these markets, the tier one cities, if you look at Bombay, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Noida, also coming up. The supply and the new launches and the project deliveries which are happening primarily falls in the premium segment. And if you look at the last quarter data, around 50% of supply, the available inventory today in Bangalore falls in the premium segment, which is higher than 12,000 per square feet. Whereas if you look at the demand, we are looking at primarily 7,000 to 9,000, which is where the masses are looking at buying properties. And of course, there is a very small segment, which is the luxury segment, where people are looking at buying properties above 12,000 per square feet. So I would like to start with, and Mr. Nitin, if you can just throw some light on how, as a developer, you are seeing this market flourishing, and where do you see the gap? Because clearly there is a gap in the demand and supply of premium properties.
Okay, you actually you see Bangalore as a market after COVID, the sudden rises of prices have created a little gap. So all the developers, the good developers, have started entering beyond the 10,000 marks. So there's an increased supply, especially in the high-end properties, which you call it the luxury segment, across Bangalore. So this is not a phenomena. There were certain markets in Bangalore which were trading at 5,000, 7,000. In those markets, also people have started venturing into the above 10,000 range. There's definitely a shortfall in the 5 to 9,000 market. And beyond the 10,000 market, I see a good growth going forward in Bangalore as of now.
Mr. Ganesh, the under construction properties that we are seeing in Bangalore today seem to be in the 15,000 per square feet and above price zone. And of course, as Nitin mentioned that there has been a transition of this space over the last few quarters. So do you see this as a challenge for home buyers and the investors who are looking at buying affordable properties? Are there any available supply for people who want to invest in the affordable segment in Bangalore?
Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. It's a good question to start with. Yes, there is a scope for under construction property wherein developers are really focusing on to grab the eye of investors as well as the end users, and the micro markets and the mainstream is getting in. Developers are focusing on getting into let us say modular construction, known as aluminum formwork system, to give high quality in a short time, so that we save a lot on timing, that which saves interest cost to the investor or end user, as well as we also as the developer save time, so that we also get a better rate. Likewise, keeping all this in mind, we are also attracting clients or our customers by giving let us say incentive in the form of payment plan, and also attractive prices, and good amenities. So these are the strategies that the developers in Bangalore are implementing to attract and make investors and end users buy from us. So that's how we are looking forward to growing in a robust way.
Okay. Uh, Moving on, Mr. Prem, just want to hear your opinion on this whole premiumization segment, and we'll deep dive into the nuances later on. But how do you feel the whole premiumization of properties in India today?
See, premiumization, thanks, Abhishek. See, premiumization is one part of it, but it again depends upon the location of the project that nowadays as a developers are looking into. If you see the entire north to the east part of Bangalore and to certain extent to the south, there is pretty much even the supply is pretty much more, and even the consumption also is equivalently more or less we are at par with the supply and demand which is required. And the buying power of customers also is increasing, and they are looking out for much premium. Usually, the second home buyers who want to upgrade themselves to a better vicinity, to a better brand, and the larger space. And yes, we have, as you know, Bangalore, we have more migrant population because of the opportunities what we have in Bangalore now. So for first home buyers, yes, this mid segment or affordable segment, what we call it as, is a easy match. So we have a mix kind of a customer base as far as Bangalore is concerned.
Balaji, I would like to hear your comment on this, and also why don't you talk about the fact that ready-to-move homes in Bangalore is kind of going down. I mean, we are not seeing any inventory of ready-to-move homes in Bangalore, and there is a growing inventory of under construction properties. As Mr. Prem mentioned, that under construction offers good amenities for buyers, and of course, there are much more perks of investing in it. But there are still that section of buyers who prefer ready-to-move homes. So, is this something which kind of is hampering the market? What is your opinion on this?
Hi, Abhishek. Thanks first and foremost, inviting me for the second time, and it was great pleasure coming back again here. And glad meeting Mr. Nitin Agarwal and Mr. Ganesh and Premdas. Pleasure meeting you all guys here. Uh, well, Abhishek, if you look at specific to your question in terms of premiumness and affordabilities sector, builders balance premiumness and affordability in 3 BHK apartment specific range. If you look at builders, look at in terms of balancing this in a well motions like optimized unit designs, compact luxury models, and also bringing a lot of flexible payment plans. And we also bring a lot of prioritizing locations and connectivity, smart and sustainable homes. All these key factors, plays, bringing the project into the premium segment, Abhishek. And and there is a noticeable reduction in the size of 3 BHK. That is one side of the other story. And it clearly, the clear trend of shrinking 3 BHK units, especially in high demand areas like Whitefield, Sarjapur Road, and Electronic City, while super built up areas remains large carpet areas, are slightly decreasing to maintain affordability without compromising the premium appeal. So that is something which I would like to put it across. And when it comes to ready to move in sector, is very less available supply in the market. If you if you observe it, during your 2022 to 23 and 23 to 24, number of launches in Bangalore were predominantly too less. You hardly had tier one builders, launching number of projects in a very, very minimal scales, and approvals were delayed a lot. You didn't had too many of inventories, to launch it on time. If the projects were there from 2020, 21, by this time, good 2 to 3 years ready to move in inventories would have spiked up in the market. The delay in approvals has also caused a lot of real estate companies, not launching their projects, withholding their plans. So all this key factor, that's how you don't see ready to move in inventories available in the market, Abhishek.
Coming to Mr. Vijay, let's get you in here. Uh, as Balaji also mentioned, and some of the other panel members mentioned, that 3 BHK demand seems to be dominating, but of late we are seeing slightly, smaller but compact units also coming up in demand. Is it a decision on the part of developers which is focused towards providing affordable luxury, wherein the premiumness of the project remains, but uh, it becomes slightly affordable for end users? Is that where developers are thinking on those lines today?
Hi Abhishek, thank you for inviting me. Hi guys, all of the panelists. Uh, yeah, so Abhishek, now if you look at it, so 3 BHKs has always been there in the market, but there has been a slight change, say it's 2022, 2023, especially post-COVID. We all started looking at making bigger homes, say 2000 square feet plus homes, 2500 square feet plus homes became a trend. However, now if you look at, say your analysis and, you look at other reports also, more or less, the market, 50 to 60% of the market is predominantly there between sub 2000 square feet. So overall, if you look at, on a supply to demand wise, we are looking at a Bangalore launch wise itself, we are touching close to about 80 million square feet. That is the launches, what, Bangalore looks at. And at the same time, we are also selling about 80 to 82 million square feet in a year in terms of sales. So when I'm talking about 50 to 60% of the inventory, which is going to be sub 2000, that's about close to about 40, 45 million square feet. So Bangalore typically was a 40, 45 million square feet in 2020. From 2020, we have scaled up to a level where, we have reached about closer to 85 million square feet. So if you look at 3BG is coming into play, yes, that's the market, that's your mass market. So mass market today, we are looking at giving 1,700, 1,800 square feet, 3 BHK with three toilets. That's going to be more and affordable. At the same time, it's going to be more premium, where you're going to price it anywhere between 1.5 to 1.7 crores, which is an ideal scenario today given the current market scenario.
Correct. Uh, Also, I would like to talk about some of the key micro markets which are seeing growth in Bangalore today. Of course, East Bangalore has been the hub of activity and a lot of demand coming from that area and supply as well. But Mr. Nitin, I would like to hear your thoughts on which are the upcoming micro markets in Bangalore or localities within those micro markets where, uh, as a buyer, as an end user who wants to move into a new property and not looking for investment, are there any areas, upcoming or emerging areas in Bangalore today where they can find good options to live in at a reasonable price and good amenities?
See, according to me, the most upcoming area in Bangalore right now is not the east, it's the North Bangalore. North Bangalore, we have seen a significant growth in real estate. Let it be the land real estate, let it be the commercial. So typically, residential follows where commercial growth is. So today, if you see North Bangalore, according to me, there are 24, 25 new IT complexes coming up with an employment potential of 40 to 50,000 people. So if 40 to 50,000 people shift in North Bangalore, you require 40 to 50,000 houses, and that's a large number. And this is just the start. There are a lot of industrial parks coming up. There's another town which has been announced, which is near Dodlapur. So North Bangalore is where the next level of growth will come in. And a lot of reports say that that's going to be Bangalore 2.0, where in North we still have large availability of land, better infrastructure. East Bangalore, I've seen a little. East was doing very, very well because of the location. See, typically Bangalore is between Hebbal and Electronic City. So the
Right.
IT growth is concentrated. You start from Hebbal and at Electronic City. Whitefield and Sarjapur as a location were at the center point. So people would love to have houses at Sarjapur or Whitefield and travel both ways. So no one knows where the job is. So it's mid market. But now macro market, especially like Bangalore, uh, in and around Hennur Road, Tanisandra, Belhalli, Rajan Kunte, Nandi Hills for villas, they all will be the next talk of the town in the coming years. In the next 2 years, I see this progressing much, much more. And surprisingly, still the Kanakpura, Mysore road belts are still lagging behind. I don't see any major projects coming up on the commercial fronts or any industrial park coming up. Yeah. So this is where I see it'll take place.
Thanks, Nitin. Mr. Ganesh, you know, we heard some of our panel members discuss that sub 2,000 square feet is where most of the demand and supply is coming in from. So, we are seeing that in from our data, 1250 to 1,500 square feet is where most of the demand, and so around 75% of demand for properties in Bangalore is for properties sized between 1,250 and 1,500 square feet. Whereas if you look at the supply side, there are most of the apartments which are larger, coming up between 1,750 and 2,000 square feet. So there clearly is a disparity. Is it something that's happening on the ground as well? Do you see a disparity on ground as well, where the sales are happening primarily for sub 1,500 square feet, whereas supply and the new launches are coming for slightly bigger apartments?
To be more precise, developers are also planning with thought process in mind, with demand from end users or investors. Basically, with the ticket size and let us say smart homes are catching up to basically to take cater the end users primarily, and also investors are also attracted in the region. Let us say from Chikballapur, Doddaballapur main road. Then you have Jakkur, Devanalli. These are the areas which are catching up with primary companies coming up in Bangalore industrial area. We have close to 3,000 acres, which is booming, and it's getting to a lot number of job opportunities. It's going to be next Whitefield of Bangalore. In 5 to 10 years, you will see it's going to be better with infrastructure in place. Metro is coming up. Airport is already there for a decade plus, and also you can see a lot of flyovers and developments happening. So all this put together, I think we can see a robust development in North Bangalore as such. And I think this is a promising location. Primarily, Devanalli side, Jakkur area, and around, let us say, in and around this one, Doddaballapur main road, Yelahanka region. I think it's catching up, and it's promising to notice around in this location. And yes, with respect to size, what you said between 1252 and around 1,500, developers primarily are also planning to have smart homes with smart features and good amenities, balancing around these sizes again. But the current trend that we see is between 1,500 to 1,800 square feet. And slowly, even buyers are catching up with a payment plan, and all this, basically increases their affordability. And I think this will move in a positive direction, is what we see as a developer. And we are also coming up with many commercial properties and residential properties in that location, for your information. As a Raja Group and Raja Housing Limited, we are very confident and will show up with these numbers shortly.
Let's move to the demand side now and see where the demand is shaping up. The last quarter, we saw a demand decline of 12.6%, right, based on the traffic on Magicbricks portal. And I'm sure there were a lot of other reports also which reported that transactions have also gone down the last 2 or 3 months by roughly around 10 to 15% across all the cities, Bangalore being no different. So, Balaji, why don't we start with you? Why do you see this happening? Is this a sign of things to come? Do you see a reduction in sentiment amongst home buyers? What is your opinion of this decline in demand?
Yeah, Abhishek, this 12.6% of your Q on Q decline, that suggests a short-term dip in demand, possibly due to seasonal trends, policy changes, or even economic factor. However, the 3% of year-on-year growth indicates a steady term trajectory.
Right.
Your on-ground market sentiment plays a vital role, like buyer hesitation due to high interest rates, shift in buyer's preference. Demand is, tilting towards ready to move in, as we discussed. Uh, Supply outspacing demand. The recent surge in premium
Correct.
segment inventory may have monetarily, outspaced the demand. So that's leading to the short-term correction. But if you look at festive and year-end impact, that is our Q4, often sees a slowdown with buyers waiting for festive offers or your financial year end deals. And I know right on the corner, we also had union budget, and we also had a lot of perks for the salaried employees. I'm very sure, this decline will definitely pull it up. And we as a developer are witnessing luxury and mid-segment sales, holding a steady. Your inquiry and your site visits, you're still robust, while conversions may have slowed down.
Mr. Prem, what is your opinion on this? Do you see this, as Balaji mentioned, a short-term fluctuation, or do you see as this as a
And with, as Balaji very rightly said, it's a periodical dip. Basically, very rightly said, financial year end and a lot of festivity coming in place. But as Mr. I need to, I would like to add to what Mr. Nitin Agarwal mentioned about the priority. See, the major development, as you see in terms of connectivity, because Bangalore, because of everybody as they complain about the traffic and the movement around the city is majorly because. So now because of this IRR road and ORR and STRR road, which is almost in the development process, once that happens, connecting from any part of Bangalore, either from east to west or north to south, becomes a less than a 30-minute drive. So probably then the micro market, like where if you see Gunjur is at a growth rate of 69% in the last 5 years compared to Delhi at 63%. So Gunjur is basically Gunjur, Kodati, the Sarjapur area is phenomenally growing at a very high pace. And you can see all possible players in the market would want to be there at that particular market. So the accessibility, once we have these three developments in place, so to commute anywhere to anywhere in Bangalore would become much easier. And if you see the demand and supply, usually in the financial year, in few quarters, or usually we see the dip, and subsequently we see the increase over a period of time.
got it?
Abhishek,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I would like to add, see, on the same question. See, I disagree with most of the people here. The last few launches which my team had, we had seen a large number of investors coming in. So, my projects in South, in East, and North, I saw a large number of investors taking in and projects selling off the shelf in a week's time, 3 days' time. Now, in the last 6 months, I've seen these investors are out of the market and
Correct.
we're getting real buyers into it. So, if you ask me, will the time return, will the sales level return to Q4 of last time? No, I don't see it happening.
Right.
Will the investors come back? Not shortly. Maybe they come back in 6 months, 7 months, but they will be off. So Q4 of this year, I don't see that we'll meet the expectations of last time. Yes, definitely, as compared to last quarter, the sales will increase because of year-end offers and what is being mentioned. Investors will stay away for a little longer time. There should be some stimulus in the real estate, and I guess budget has provided a little amount of stimulus,
Yes.
but this quarter
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
see them coming back.
Right. Also, to add on to that, we are also
Uh,
seeing a lot of exits happening. People are across India, not just in Bangalore. We are seeing a lot of these celebrities and HNIs selling off their properties. Exits are happening. Uh, so, so with that as a context, let's talk about prices. We have seen a 27% YOY increase in prices of Bangalore properties and a 8.6% QOQ rise. So clearly, while your demand is dwindling shortly, in the short term, your prices are still increasing. Supply is still increasing. So, this is it something that the market needs to worry about? Because are we seeing the start of some kind of a bubble where uh, there's an oversupply and an increase in prices and demand not catching up? Uh, Mr. Vijay, if you can add your comments on that.
Yeah, Abhishek, so I would want to also comment on the previous point in terms of, demand,
Sure.
tapering down in the last quarter. Say what, say while, I have, say while I closely watch the market, what I have seen is, so the demand, say the velocity of sales for high-end homes, which was predominantly at 5%, 6%, now it contributes close to 20% of the market. This is related to the pricing also, what you're asking, there are, pricing is moving upwards of 12,000 and 15,000. So this particular segment, which was selling at a good pace in the last quarter, it has seen a significant fall because, the price points of each project somewhere, it isn't matching the market correction. We are seeing, price moving up by 30%, 20% justifiable, but there are price movements, in certain projects which is moved up by closer to 40%, 50%. If you see, Whitefield is already touching, there is a launch, which happened sometime in the last quarter, a project, which was highly recommended to buy, but, was priced at 15,000 rupees, which didn't fly off the way, it was expected to fly. Because, there is a, point where a customer also would look at a fair price point, irrespective of whether the property is in luxury or a premium segment. So there was a dip in terms of demand, in terms of sales velocity when it came to luxury. When it came to products, which was between 1,500 to 2,000 square feet or 1,250 to 2,000 square feet, the sales happened, it picked up the momentum. Coming to your point of, though there has been price corrections and stuff. Yes, price corrections have moved the market. Predominantly, both two crucial markets for Bangalore. One is north, the other one is the east. While you all consider Sarjapur also as south, but I actually kind of consider Sarjapur still an east market. Predominantly, so these markets, the price wise in terms of demand and price is a demand and supply function. Demand and supply function. Yes, today the market is more or less there at 10,000 rupees per square feet. It is a correction which, say about 2 years ago, the market was at 8,000, 8,500, but today, we are staring at the 10,000, and 10,000 is going to be the mark. The construction prices have shot up today, and if you look at our construction prices with all the overheads put together, we easily touch closer to about 5,000 rupees per square feet. So our products has to be placed, around the 9,000, 10,000 mark. So in terms of price appreciations, we are going to look at, price appreciations moving forward consistently for the next at least 2 quarters, we would see that.
Great. So, Mr. Ganesh, let's do a quick roundtable on where do you see the market moving ahead or remaining stable or slightly backing up over the next 6 months to 12 months. Let's start with Mr. Ganesh.
Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. To be precise, Sarjapur Whitefield area has that demand and also absorption by end users primarily, and also investors also robustly investing there because of the index that we see. And it's never going down that I see in these two markets, especially as Vijay too said, Sarjapur, even I consider not exactly south or east, it's a southeast market, which is very robust. And yes, Whitefield has that potential even today. Of course, the secondary market today, which is catching up, as discussed earlier, is North Bangalore between from Hebbal, then this Chekkor area going up to Devanhalli because of this KDB setup of close to 3,000 acres, which is mobilizing a lot of entrepreneurs landing up there with huge investments and attracting job opportunities, which will have influx of requirement for housing. So also this government initiative of reducing the tax burden on salaried class will motivate them to now think on investing, and this is the right time is what I feel, and it's at the right time that has caught up the attention of investors and end users. And I think this is the right market that we see which is catching up is North Bangalore steadily, and we will see this growth happening year on year. We can see the positive momentum going up that we can witness.
Great. Mr. Nitin, your outlook on the market?
I differ with a lot of people. See, there are few policies which are going to change in Bangalore. The first is introduction of premium TDR. So if the introduction of premium TDR and TDR policy is going through, suddenly what happens is the available land in Bangalore, the virtual component of land increases. And in Bangalore, being developers, all of us know getting new land, clear lands is difficult. So the existing lands, for example, I would prefer loading as much as TDR and premium TDR available, thereby increasing the square feet which I can sell or I can construct. If similarly everyone does it, the supply side will increase phenomenally. Supply side will increase phenomenally. Can the market absorb so much supply just because builders have got a new premium FSI or premium TDR? No, not so much.
Yeah.
So definitely there would be a little competition and correction in prices. But the biggest question is, will it come up or not? From my sources from the BBMP and from speaking with discussions with some of the ministers, look like they will definitely make the premium TDR and the TDR policies happen. Maybe not in February, by April is what we can expect it. So what I see is the supply side, Bangalore will increase a little. Then once the supply side increases, there'll definitely be a little price correction. And once that takes place, is the best time to invest in Bangalore market. That is one thing which I see. Second, we would also see that those projects which have, like Mr. Balaji pointed out, he did a very valid point that why don't we have ready to move in inventory? No projects were launching. Even in my stable, I don't have ready to move in inventory, but mid of this year, I'll start getting ready to move in inventories. Likewise, a lot of people will start getting ready to move in inventory. Once ready to move in come up, the under construction will start taking a little hit. So these are 2-3 phenomena which will happen and we should closely watch out. Yeah, once these two stabilize, Bangalore is always going to increase, but not at the rate it was increasing earlier, the last 2 years. There'll definitely be a 5 to 10% increase.
Great, thanks. Thanks, Nitin. Mr. Balaji, your outlook on how do you see the market?
The supply versus demand, there is a huge ratio of difference. If you look at, I have my own case study. I happened to launch in my Q3 my project called Euphoria in the East. It's about 1,102 inventories. And in last 6 months, that is be it in Q3 and Q4, I had nothing less than 6,000 to 7,000 walk-ins at my site. And if you look at today, I'm at 60 to 65% of my inventories are sold out. I am still not able to deliver good number of supply to my audience. So there are huge demand in Bangalore market, and obviously it all matters the sweet spot of making the projects in Bangalore. I'm always there towards on southeast. It is on typically on the east side of Whitefield, Sarjapur. This is where I basically make projects. So I understand that towards your northern side of the Bangalore, where Mr. Nitin makes most of his projects, which largely relies on growing investors and NRIs. And there is also moderate level of investors like HNIs and IT between Hebbal to little ahead of Jakkur. But I always say that Whitefield and Sajapur will be the top picks for immediate end use and also for rental demand. And finally, market by next coming financial year, the number of ready to move in projects will be more, and there will not be any kind of surplus supply in the market, and demand is always on a big rise.
Thanks, Balaji. Mr. Prem, how do you see the market shaping up over the next few months and quarters?
Market is pretty much good in our I mean, as our own organization, we have a couple of projects back to back launching in the east part of Bangalore. And we are diluting 80% of the project even before we hit the launch as well. So we dilute 80% on the pre-launch and most of it to be placed in East Bangalore. And see, ready to move in plays a major role when if you're unable to dilute your inventories in, say, when 3 years of your construction duration and you are unable to, sell your inventories on time is when usually we have a lot of ready to move in. So it all depends again about the location. And if you see customer behavior, most of them, it's the mindset. In Bangalore, they typically look into the migrant population. They are more inclined towards East Bangalore. Say that they feel Bangalore is all about Sarjapur, Whitefield area only, or probably North Bangalore. So they have no idea about South, which is much a better place to live in, if you ask me personally. So yeah, that's how it goes. But as far as the market looks too nice to move in for the next few months.
Thanks. Mr. Vijay, can we have your closing comments on this?
Yes, with regard to the next couple of quarters, so maybe, if I have to tag it till 2026 March, uh, I see a lot of investors who got into projects in the year 2022, 2023, looking at an exit happening in 2025, 2026, because there are going to be exits. I'm sure, there is going to be price competition, but in terms of demand, it's going to remain. The supply, I see a lot of, launches which is lined up for the next financial year. I'm seeing, next financial year also, say Bangalore touching close to about, again, 85 million square feet mark in terms of supply. That means, that's the demand, what, we foresee. So there would be, enough supply and the demand, but at the same time, because, there would be investors exiting, from already invested, projects, in 22, 20, 23, there would be the sales velocity. What today we are looking at 3.5%, 4%, may come down to about 3% or 2.5%. And that is what, we may look at. Apart from that, in terms of infra, you look at it, say Sarjapur and North Bangalore is where, I can, that is East and North. North should take off, especially locations like Yelahanka and Jakur, should take off. There is a lot of infra now which is happening around. I think, the only thing which is lacking there is social infrastructure. The moment, social infrastructure coming in place, these are the location which is going to gain momentum. The third part is with regard to metro. Say how a Whitefield in terms of price point, the way it picked up the moment, you had the metro connectivity. With metro connectivity happening towards, north, that's going to be a significant, a step where, the absorptions can start moving up at a rapid pace.
With that, we come to the end of this webinar. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining in today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.